Hello.
Nope, didn't like it.
Okay, try it. Snap me in. Go, try it. Beautiful. Shot here. Coming at you live from beautiful, sunny Mesa, Arizona. It's the only thing that makes me feel like I do. Running through my veins, it's wrapped up, stacked up, it's packed up. How you coming down? Loading up whatever's on that memory card onto this computer and start putting together my next episode, which is essentially what the cost of vlogging is, some fears, and me saying yes. So, yes, I'm saying yes to this. So, this is my bed. The bed I sleep on is my pillows I use to prop up my head when resting. And this is my first vlog post. Essentially right now, I'm realizing how hard, well, I realized this yesterday, but I was realizing how hard it is to be a vlogger. One of the first reasons it's kind of an issue is because you have to be consistent. Consistency is the key element in doing this. Here are a couple of things that I've run into. So I'm kind of a perfectionist. If I can't do it well, then I usually won't do it at all, which can sometimes come off a little bit lazy, but essentially I don't want to put effort into something because maybe the fear of failing. Do I really have the freedom to fail? Do I truly in my life have the freedom to fail? And I actually realized it's not so much that I have the freedom to fail, but I have the freedom not to be defined by my failures. So with that being said, you know, I'm so right now what I have is I'm using a Nikon 3300. A Nikon 3300. There she is. I got that in a bundle. Yeah, so I have this camera that I'm using. I also just got one of these little Joby grip thingamajigs. Hopefully that's not too close to my face. I need to get one of those cameras. Oh. Alright, I need you to stop moving. Alright. I need to get one of those cameras where I can like see off to the side where I am, and hopefully there'll be in some investments into that soon. Here. They say on the blogging that you want to create good content in your own style, your own creativity, your own way of doing it. So that's something that I'd like to do, and that's something that's kind of on my mind to do as I continue in this with this. Yeah, I think one of the major fears about doing blogging is whether or not I'll have enough content to talk about, whether or not I'll have enough interesting things going on in my life. Maybe that's not what it's so much about for me, you know, showing the audience how amazing things are going on in my life, but just to create basic, simple, everyday stories that you guys can follow along with. And it's very normal, it's very simple, it's a very everyday kind of thing. Yeah, I think when starting this whole thing, I think probably like the biggest thought on my mind is like, will it be good enough? And yeah, I feel like nothing will ever be good enough if you don't believe it is. At some point in time, I feel like I have to just come to copes with the best I can do. And as long as I'm giving my best and being honest and being real. That's all I can really do. I can't be somebody that I'm not. Or I can, but it wouldn't be me. I feel like sometimes, like, maybe I put my pressure on myself to try and be this person, whether it's, and for relationships, whether it's for myself, my own eyes. I think there's this constant expectation to want to be better than. One of the philosophies, my life philosophies that I live by is it's not what you do that defines who you are. It's who you are that defines what you do. So when we find out who we are through revelation of one's own identity, then we can start living out of our being instead of out of our doing. Because your being is just the essential nature of who you are. I mean, people can become things, for sure. You can become a doctor. You can become a lawyer, or you can't really become an artist. Like, you either are an artist or you're not an artist. I guess that's really my point, that when it comes to you being you, like artists, that's them just being them. It's them putting on display what was already deposited into them and giving it to other people and allowing other people to see what was already inside of them. Now, there's certain things that they can do. They can take art classes, and that they can do certain things to make what's going on in them more effective. But it's in my belief that everyone has what's necessary already within them. And so many times we go looking around the world, relationships, TV, movies, clubs, even with the use of drugs and alcohol, and we're looking for something so it can be deposited into us. We're looking for fulfillment. We're looking for some kind of deep impartation that something can give us. And instead of believing and accepting the truth about what's already in us. And for the most part, people look down on themselves more than they build themselves up. We always think we're less than, and we never think we're good enough. We never think we're pretty enough, loyal enough, or I don't think it's about being good enough or being worthy enough or being, valuable enough by our own terms and by our own strength. The things that we do. I don't think it's about that. Yeah, this is good. My biggest fear in the blog thing is, one, that I'm not actually interesting enough to make a blog post, and the second thing would be that I'm not good enough with the videography. I've never had any professional training. I don't really know what a B-roll is or what any of that kind of stuff. I'm not educated in that sense formally. I know that I have creativity. So there's a saying that I like that goes, you never rise above your why. Which means that you never rise above, and you'll never get over the reason why you're doing something. You'll never get over what's motivating you and what's driving you to do something. Because motivation is everything. Whatever you're motivated by will really kind of determine the effectiveness of your actions. I feel like my motivation is, pointed out before in my intro blog, my intro is, I want to steward the things that have been deposited into me. I want to steward it well, and I want to be able to give it away. With wrestling, I've been given this platform, given this voice, given this audience. I can build upon the platform that I've already been given. I want to build upon that platform. My goal is to create a place of trust with my audience. There has to be predictability, and there has to be consistency. And those are the two keys to having and creating trust. Blog is definitely going to, I guess, help me overcome some of my fears. think everyone has a little bit of these fears at some level. You know, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, fear of failure. This blog post is about me overcoming my fears a little bit. Yeah, maybe it's about me overcoming my fear a little bit. I mean, I don't like posting a lot on social media. Someone's always got something to say. Someone's always got a thought or an opinion. You know, you could say, you know, something so neutral and someone will be against it. And I was just kind of thinking, like, opinions are like boogers. And it sounds weird, right? But the thing is that everyone's got them, and I don't mind if a person is gonna pick their nose. I might encourage a person to do such a thing. At the end of the day, don't come over and shake my hand if you haven't properly done away with what you just picked out of your nose. No, don't act like I didn't just see you picking your nose. Take that and then wipe it off on some Kleenex and throw it in the garbage can, and then wash your hands, and then we can have a handshake, and then we can connect. I feel like sometimes, you know, people want to force their opinions on other people, or force their thoughts and ideas onto other people, and I'm not a huge fan of that. It's like picking my nose and wiping it on somebody. It's not gonna kill you, but it's kind of gross. As much as I'm afraid that I won't have the time, the effort, the energy, the creative ability to make content, I'm still going to do this, and I'm going to make it my project, and I'm going to go for it and conquer my fears in a way. I have a MacBook Pro, which I will be using my editing on, Final Cut, on a MacBook, whatever this is, and I'll be using Final Cut to get my pictures and videos and music on there. All the music, by the way, most of the music on here, probably about 90% of it, is created by myself and sometimes my brother. So if you enjoy it, thank you. So I can know for sure that I will spend my life with you, with you. Stay tuned for my next blog post, which is going to be next Wednesday, and every Wednesday every week. Also, be sure to subscribe, follow, add at Nahshon Garrett.